What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is April the 3rd. I want to give you a quick pre-market update over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before I get into any of that though, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, we just have the typical stuff today. So initial jobless claims and so forth. In my opinion, that won't really be a driving factor. What is really going to be digested today is Trump's tariffs. So in case you don't know, I'm pretty sure at this stage everyone and their dog knows, but this is what Trump did hit China, Europe, many other entities here. But I think one thing that the market is really going to be watching for is retaliation from a lot of these countries. So we'll just have to wait and see how that all does play out. As a byproduct of this, though, the likelihood of a cut for the May and also June meetings did go up slightly. So that might be the only positive out of this. And a lot of stocks, speculative stocks, would really move higher with the likelihood of a cut. So again, there's that kind of attribute behind the scenes. But nonetheless, though, today is going to be a bloodbath. Dow is down 2.79, S&P 3.46, NASDAQ down 3.88. Normally, during the pre-market, you see some blips, some volatility. So far, there's absolutely nothing. And so it's a very crappy scenario. So for those of you that have cash, I think today might be a good day to dollar cost average. But with that being said, a lot of analysts will, like doom and gloom analysts, will be out in full force, just stating that this is going to be the kind of starting point for a massive global recession, and that will be going down a lot more than this what is happening right now. But as of right now, today, fear and greed index is under the extreme fear category, 22. So I think that is reacting a little bit to yesterday's momentum during the trading day, not after hours. So I feel like this is not accurate because this was at, what was it, like 16 or something like that yesterday. So I feel like this is broken. But nonetheless, getting right to it, Sofi. And I'm going to speed through a lot of these because a lot of them don't actually have any news. They're just reacting to the market. Sofi is just down, piggybacking. And I think a lot of fintechs as well, because they are directly correlated with consumers. And so, of course, consumers' buying power through these tariffs get hit. Thus, their business will suffer. So that's kind of the mentality behind the scenes. Sofi is down 8.69%. Shorts aren't doing anything so far, but most likely, at least in times of like this craziness, they don't really do anything. They just sit back and kind of relax. So most likely they won't do anything, but 13.01% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 140.11 million shares overall are being shorted, with it at 11.25. It is currently trading between these 2 points, so this S1 and this S2. So 11.11 is going to be a strong support, followed by 10.27. And so we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. A lot of individuals out there are under the assumption that there is going to be a rebound today, and if so, just watch for 11.63. 12.48, I think that's completely off the table. If for whatever reason we do somehow turn green, I think the market would be like rigged or something. I don't know. That would be insane. But nonetheless, just kind of watch for those 3 points. Moving on, you have Lucid. And on a side note, kind of this is the first time that you don't really see, based on the top 10 most heavily traded pre-market, you don't really see a lot of speculative stocks. It's more large cap that big money seems to be dumping and or accumulating, depending on how you see it. So Lucid is down 4.17%. So it's actually faring a little bit better than a lot of other spec stocks, but they did put out their numbers, their Q1 numbers, better than anticipated. But at the same time, they also did put out a $1 billion convertible senior note offering. So not the best. I know they clearly just grouped it with good news just to try and soften the blow, but nonetheless, though, there is that a capped call kind of piece to this 1 billion note. So I think that's kind of a good thing overall to limit the massive amount of dilution that could come from that. But shorts aren't doing anything. 23.29% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 282.99 million shares. In Lucid's case, they don't really give two craps about the market. They will just increase almost every single day. So anticipate them to really double down, maybe get back to the highs of like 28 to 30%. So they might be pouncing today with it at $2.30 though, trading between these 2 points. So this pivot and this S1. So 226 and then 220 will be kind of the support levels. And then 236 and 246 will be the next strong target / resistance points. In my opinion, I feel like Lucid is going to get dragged down to this S2 or possibly in between this S2 and this S3. Just the bigger entities and the manipulative points whoever manipulates Lucid, they benefit through puts. So I think that once the market does open, then that is where Lucid will unfortunately get hit. But moving on, Palantir is again getting hit, no different than anything else, down 5.66%. For shorts though, we do have 2.77% of the free float. So shorts are a very unique circumstance or a group of individuals with Palantir. They've often gathered enough strength and said, hey, we're going to short Palantir more and to suppress it. It's overvalued. Then they get screwed. I feel like they do have PTSD from this because they doubled down in September. They lost their asses again in November and again in December. They've lost their asses every single time. Despite Palantir really pulling back recently, they are still really afraid to increase. So I feel like it will kind of stay roughly around here. I don't know. Like, I think they're just really chicken craps with Palantir, but with that 82 and change, it is trading between this S1 and this S2. So 80.67 is going to be a strong support. And I believe during the overnight, that's where it was. So that could be a good indication that it might go towards that. Flip side, 83.99 will be the next strong target / resistance, which if there is that rebound that people are hoping or assuming, then that could be touched. Nvidia, so they're down 5.88%. So I'm definitely a buyer, but at a certain price. I'm going to go over that in a second. But as far as shorts goes, these shorts are not as kind of scared as Palantir. They are definitely a lot more active, as you can kind of see. Even this morning, they're increasing 265,000 shares. 1.13% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 265.44 million shares overall are being shorted. So pretty good stuff. Right now, though, it did break below this 105 point. So it's trading between this S2 and this S3. So $100 is going to be the next strong support. And that's where I'm more of a buyer at. So whether it's actually hit today or in the next couple trading days, so be it. I feel like $100 is a fairly good price for Nvidia, a value in price, of course. Flip side, 105 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. During the overnight, it did keep going towards that 105. So during the trading day, it very well could go there. So just somewhat be aware of that. And then on a positive note, the most heavily traded stock in the market right now is TIVC. It is up 74.15%. And as you can kind of see, there hasn't been any news, no SEC filings. So I was unable to really find the justified reason. But then again, it might be just a rumor, speculative topic or whatever that's really driving it higher. But in times of massive bloodbath in the market, if big money starts to really focus on one stock, and we saw that with the recent IPOs with MLGO, so this stock will be a day trader's dream. So again, big money is definitely going to be focusing on this stock. So if you're looking to make some money, this one might be where it's at. It's not heavily shorted or anything. 6.63%, works out to be 41,000 shares. So they're not going to play a massive part in today. With it though, at $5.30, trading between this R2 and this R1, so $5.28 is a strong support. Flip side, you have $6.18 is that next strong target / resistance. So dependent on the momentum, you could see this R2, possibly even this R3 being touched, because we've seen a lot of stocks just go absolutely just up. And that's just because big money sees this and wants to really push it higher. So it's kind of a unique circumstance, but let me know your thoughts on these stocks. This is what big money is playing today. Is there any other stocks out there that is floating your boat? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. If you're looking for some kick-ass buy signals, even in the bloodbath today, I did put out some, so pop over to my Patreon. I put out buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them are absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all you watching.